All right, let's talk about the steps in the interview process here. What is the typical interview process going to look like, and how can you prepare? So let's break it down simply, and then we're going to go through each one of these steps individually. Step one, typically for any interview process, is submitting your resume. Step two is the screening call. That's a first round get to know you call. Step three, interview with the hiring manager. Step four, you're going to do some sort of assignment. Step five, six are probably second, third round interviews, typically with some other team members or managers that want to get to know you and kind of test you as well. And then you're going to receive the offer letter. So typically about 7 steps here. It's going to vary from company to company, from role to role, but this is the general theme that we see more often than not. Remember that each step along the way, they're testing you for the character traits of the job, your knowledge of the job, your experience of the job, and your interest in the job. And if you haven't watched our videos yet on each one of those, go check those out. It's going to help you prepare even better for the interview process. So let's break these down. That screening call is the first touch, the first real touch point you're going to have with a company. And this is typically done with a recruiter at a bigger company, or at a smaller company, maybe just the hiring manager who you're probably going to be working with the most at that company. And this is typically, a 15, 20-minute call. Really, they're just trying to get to know you. This is their first touch point with you, your first touch point with them. It's kind of like a first date. Get to know you, make sure you're not crazy, make sure that you've got some of the basics down, right? Do you understand the role at a high level? Do you have some high level knowledge of the company that you're about to talk with? Are you potentially a good culture fit? And then they're going to ask you, or they're going to let you ask some questions as well, so you can kind of vet them out and feel them out. So that's the first call. Again, just kind of a get to know you call, 15, 20 minutes normally. This is only a 15, 20-minute call, but it is one of the most important calls, right? It's going to set the tone for the rest of the interview process. So you really want to put your best foot forward here. You really want to leave them with the impression that you are potentially one of the best candidates that they're going to be talking to, and get them to think about trying to sell you actually during the interview process here. And the way you do that is by showing up prepared, showing up ready to sell yourself with your knowledge, your experience, your interest in the role. So the next step in the interview process is going to be typically a longer 30, 45-minute call with the hiring manager. So after the recruiter or that first entry-level call is over with, they're going to really dig in. They want to get to know you more. They want to dive deeper into your knowledge of the role, dive deeper into what you know about the company. They're going to check you out culturally, and then also, again, give you a chance to ask more questions. So this is, a second date, if you will, where you're really starting to figure out, can both parties come together and work together here? Typically, after that first call, they're going to do some sort of assignment. And this assignment either falls in the third step or maybe like the fourth, fifth step. It changes, it varies from company to company. But more often than not, nowadays, companies are giving candidates some sort of practice assignment to do or complete to test them on their knowledge and their experience of the role. Can they actually do this job? That's one thing they're looking for. They're also looking to see, how dedicated are you, right? Are you willing to put in, a couple hours of work to crank out this assignment, or are you just going to kind of half-ass it? So they want to see your dedication to the role here. They also want to see how can you, or if you can follow directions. Can you follow directions, and do you have attention to detail? A lot of times these assignments aren't that crazy hard or complicated or super long to complete, but they may have some nuanced instructions to them. And they want to see that you can follow those instructions, have good attention to detail, and again, are going to follow through and complete this. Typically, they'll give you about 2 to 3 days to complete this assignment. Again, it's not something crazy, but they're testing you to see how you can knock that out of the park. Now, after that assignment, you're going to go into probably a couple more rounds of interviews. And these are either with other teammates that you might be working with, or other managers that you may not directly be working with, but may be tangentially working with. The goal here is, once the original hiring manager has kind of given you the thumbs up and said, okay, I like this candidate and I think they're going to be a good fit for the role, they want to get some buy-in. They want other people to corroborate that story and say, yep, this person is great, and I think they're going to be a great fit for the role. Let's go ahead and make them an offer. So you might go 2, 3 rounds of this. Again, they're looking for the same stuff. Get to know you, knowledge of the company, knowledge of the role, culture fit, ask some questions. Some of this may start to seem repetitive. You might think, oh my gosh, I've already answered this question 3, 4 times. That's okay. That's great. That means, remember, they're just looking for some validation for some other folks. And if you've already gotten thumbs up from 1 or 2 people, it should become easier and easier to get through those final rounds of the interview. But remember, it's also a great chance for you to vet this company. Is this somewhere I want to be working? Do I want to be working with these people? Can I see myself learning from them? Can I see myself growing from them? It's a chance to give you, it's a chance for you to interview them as well. So come prepared with great questions to ask. Check out our video on that and do your vetting as well on them.